Hello, everyone.
Hi, Eric Weber. Hi, Esther Murky. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Karen.
Hello there.
Hello. My mom should be back in a few minutes. She was getting her
Oh, good.
and stuff.
Good.
We'll be
I
happy
know
to.
it's been a while since we've been together.
Hello, Esther. Welcome. Wonderful. Amy's joining now too. Hope everyone's new year is off to a great start. We're very excited about our lunch and learn today. And so happy that you all can join us.
I think it's cool, you guys. We have the artwork behind us is from Autism Tree's 5-year. That's James
Nice.
Tony. Not James Tony. That's James Tony next to Lorenzo Neal. We're trying to do sports radio today a little bit for Serena, since she's like a very accomplished athlete. Jeff, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you saying? It's so nice to see you.
Well, I was saying that I just completed a couple of trainings for educators up in Irvine on Friday and Saturday.
Wow, so close.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, I just got back. I got back on Monday. So
Congratulations. You were in California, right by us.
yep, I was up in Orange County. So
That's great.
yeah.
Congrats, Jeff.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Wonderful. Well, we have most of everyone, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Cool. Wonderful. So let me go to speaker view and then, all right, a couple of Zoom rules for those of you who need a refresher. We haven't done this lunch and learns in a little while, so thanks so much for joining us today. We're so excited to be back. Our Zoom rules are mute yourself when you're not speaking. We recommend speaker view for presentation. Video sharing is optional, though we love to see all your smiling faces. And then please type all questions and comments into the chat. You can also ask questions at any point, unmute yourself. You can also raise your hand virtually and I can call on you. I'll be moderating the chat box. So if you want to ask any questions, ask away. A quick update from Autism Tree. Oh, that's a little typo in it's 2024 now. Woo, year of 2024.
Crazy, right?
Yeah, already. And we have already 138 brand new families who have joined Autism Tree since January 1st. Our programs, we offer 20 programs still happening. 9 are in person, 7 hybrid, and 4 virtual. Can everybody hear me okay? Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I heard a giant airplane over me, so I wanted to make sure everyone can hear me. We have 20 upcoming events in March, so check our social media for announcements. We're really active on Instagram and Facebook. I also try to email and text and call all of our families to let them know about what we have coming up. Events this week, we have our adaptive dance class, ages 5 through 10, and also our Purpose First beach cleanup. This is our third partnership or third beach cleanup with Purpose First. It's another nonprofit in Pacific Beach, and we have so much fun. Our families get to do a beach cleanup with the tools and everything, and then afterwards they have a bonfire with s'mores, and it's just a really good time on the beach. So that's a really fun event if you'd like to join. We have 549 impact videos on our YouTube channel, and 128 of these, or actually 29 of these lunch and learns uploaded on YouTube. This is our 130th YouTube lunch and learn. And so I'm going to pass it off to Dana Hoff, our executive director, and she'll introduce our very special guest speaker today.
Hi, everybody. It's so nice to be back together again. And I just feel like I hope everyone can get a little extra pumped up today. When we were doing our pre-call with Serena, I was feeling like we got to kind of be in a sports talk radio mode today because Serena is getting ready for a real big fight. And this is something that she's looked forward to for a very, very long time. And we just couldn't be more proud of her. I think I don't want to spend too much time taking up, her time, but I do want to say that I'm feeling incredibly winded a little bit with Rebecca. I wanted to share with you that we have not had an assistant to Rebecca since the week before our Global Neuroscience Conference last November. So it's been pretty remarkable, and I'm going to give insane gratitude to Rebecca because I took time away during the holidays last year for the first time in 20 years. I'm always, going 100 miles an hour with year end all the way until the new year every year for Autism Tree. And this was the first year that I went away with Todd and Garrett. And I'm so thankful that I had that time. And I'm so thankful that Rebecca completely obviously held her own, as we all know. But I would love everyone to just be keeping Rebecca in your prayers. She's been really run down. She just moved into her new place. And we're all so excited for her, and she's been fighting a cold. So I just want to give her extra love from me and all of you today. And just to say, to keep a little prayer out there, that it's really important that we have that third person, that person that's really Rebecca's assistant. Because the volume, as you see, if you're looking every week, is sort of uncomprehendable. Last year, we brought in 767 new families on top of all of our other families. So it's essential. Really, we need a department for all the new families with the volume that's coming in, and that's my prayer. But it takes a special person, a really special person to work day in and day out with our team, me and Rebecca, and then all of our families and all of our programs. So I want to share that with you, and just that I feel like Rebecca and I are in a really good place, but I want to give her extra gratitude for me. And I love if you guys all give that to her too. She needs a little energy boost because of her moving and kind of having the flu. But going back to our speaker today, I think it's no accident. Serena is actually in Las Vegas, which is where our chairman, Todd Hoff, is actually right now. Serena, he's getting ready to open up a new
Hey.
hospital in Henderson, where you are right
Oh.
now. Yeah. And so I'll be going out there much more frequently, and I can't wait to hug you in person. And I absolutely loved when you let me share a day in the life with Serena and went to your gym. And let me just say, there's only one word that comes to mind. It's badass. The gym that Serena works out in is seriously badass. The men and the women. I got to watch Serena fight, and I'm as a woman, it's so nice to see women doing just amazing out of the box things. And that's why on our pre-call, I was like, Rebecca, we need to come in strong and be like sports caster interviewers for Serena today. Because, I think if you guys are asking questions and interacting, let's pump it up a little bit because Serena is flying to Miami on Monday to get ready to
Tampa.
final
We're going to
preparations for
Tampa.
this fight. Is that right, Serena?
Tampa. We're going to Tampa, but yeah, I
Tampa.
fly out Monday.
Okay.
I've been to Miami already.
I had the right state.
Yeah, right state for sure. There's
Yeah.
too much going on in Florida, so.
Well,
And yeah, for everybody else who just came in, if you see this little creature coming around, please don't mind him. He's been my buddy since I was 14, and he's very loud and attention seeking, much like a toddler. So.
oh, and his name's Ralph. You want to?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to pass it over to you, Serena, and just say we are so blessed and excited to have you on today, and just really excited about your fight. Just wow.
So yeah, I'm fighting on the Tampa State Fair State grounds on March 8th. So I've just wrapped up the hard parts of camp where, for reference, I've been so good at my diet, I've been behaving that there is still Christmas ale in my fridge. So that's how dedicated I am. So a lot of dieting, a lot of exercise, working with coaches, specialized strength conditioning. We had to overcome a few speed bumps, you know, some former strength and conditioning coaches up and bounced, you know, some quick switcharoos, but got that all out the way. So every day except the weekends, and even then the weekends I'm working. So I will go into class I'll train for an average of 3 hours a day. And then I'll recover, I'll go to work, I'll pet my parrot, and then sleep and pretty much repeat. So I haven't really had much time to do much more me activities, more free time, but I enjoy fighting. It's my first fight in over a year because last year I got injured and all that. And it's a rough sport, but it's an enjoyable one. I found my purpose, I found my peoples, I think, within the fight community, and I just can't wait to get back out there. I'm kind of happy to have a little break from the underwater strength and conditioning I was doing because that was definitely new.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm grateful I have my longtime mentor who's been my best friend since um for 10 years. She's actually coming out, even though she's expecting, you know? I'm like, oh my God, she's coming out. And then a friend of mine is also coming out. Ironically, she fought, you see right there, that girl in the pink, that's the girl I'm fighting. Um, Fought her 4 months ago, so now I got a little bit of psychological warfare, you know, working in my favor, and I get my homies all getting me ready. The biggest fight is not really the fight itself. That's the fun part. For me, the biggest fight is what is called a water cut. So in a little bit, in about a few days, I'm going to be essentially drowning my organs in about 2 gallons of water. The reasoning for that is it's going to flush all the sodium out my body so my weight continues dropping. And then the day before weigh-ins, which is the 7th, I will be going in a sauna, and I'm going to sweat out 5 to 7 pounds of water that night. I'm going to I'm going to rest, and then I'm going to go get up early in the morning the day of weigh-ins, and then I'm going to go cut the rest of the water off. So everybody sees fighters on the scale, and they think they're all abtastic and good looking, but the secret is people just don't know how depleted we are of food, of water, sodium, all that good stuff. So when we get up the scale, we get all that back on. It's a good time. Like, for example, I fight at the bantamweight division, which is 135. For reference, right now, I'm sitting at about 149, 150. So by the time I get to Miami and I get everything going for the water cut, I'm going to be probably about 145. And then I just sweat everything out. And then I just reconstitute myself. Soup, coconut water, Pedialyte, all that. And then the next day, I get to go play Punchy Face. So it's a great time for me, at least. I enjoy this.
So that's a really quick turnaround of you depleting yourself, and then how much time is between
That's
you?
the norm, believe it or not. So we get about 24 hours or a little over because they make the weigh-ins. Thankfully, now they've made what's called early weigh-ins, where we weigh in, like, say, in the morning versus waiting till the afternoon to show up all depleted. So all fighters do this. Every single mixed martial artist does it. And yeah, weight cutting is a scary business at times, which is why I'm grateful this time around I enlisted the aid of a nutritionist, and I have a meal prep sponsor that's given me food and stuff that fits my macros and nutritional needs. So so it's worked so far. I'm pretty lean, because lean muscle mass actually loses more water than obviously if you're fluffy or whatever. So it'll be an easy time for me.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Hopefully. It's not gonna, okay, let me rephrase. It's not gonna be easy because it does burn. So the normal human body, when it's looking for sustenance, when it's depleted, the senses go up. Now you have somebody, you have an autistic who already has sensory issues now on starvation mode. So it does become a little unbearable. But I have friends who keep me in, who look after me, keep me strong, even when my spirit feels like it doesn't want to be strong in that heat no more. So it's always the process, but this is the life I chose. This is the life I enjoy the most, with
Mhm.
all the craziness that comes with it.
It's really important to have people to support you through that. I'm so glad you have, you know. Tell us about your opponent and why you're excited to fight them.
So well, first, it's actually the one opponent that'll actually step up without running around because I've unfortunately, because I'm tough, I'm durable. The mixed martial arts world has unfortunately become a lot like boxing, where people pick and choose their opponents to what we call pad their records, meaning make their records look big and important when really they just fought a bunch of cans and bums. Meanwhile, I'm about fighting real competition. I'm about like when Dana was out, I was actually at one point sparring with the strawweight champion, the one-time strawweight and flyweight champion of the UFC, Jessica Andrade. And she at one point was fighting at my weight level. The only reason she went down below is because, well, she's like 5'3", so, and I'm like 5'8", but her power is still there. So I'm sparring with top level competition, just wanting to stay ready. I spar with dudes, like it's great. So what I'm happy about is she didn't duck. The other part is I saw her fight my friend who's quartering me. My friend is a flyweight, meaning she is one weight class below me. And I thought my friend won. But the judges in North Dakota are not clearly educated with mixed martial arts. They gave it to my opponent. So I get to play get back for my friend. And she's going to see a bigger, angrier version of me coming through. So it's going to be fun. And I also have I have Elevation on my side. She's from North Carolina, which the MMA scene, it's okay, but I don't think it holds up to Vegas standards. So I feel very confident about my chances. It doesn't mean I'm underestimating this woman at any point in time, but I like my chances and if you don't have confidence going in there, you're kind of screwed as it is. So that's where I'm at.
It's as much as a mental game as a physical game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. So
yeah. So you mentioned that this fight will be streamed. Why don't you
yes,
watch it worldwide? Tell us more about that.
yes. So this fight will be streaming on UFC Fight Pass. I believe they have a free trial as well. But no matter where you are in the world, no matter what, you're going to be able to watch this fight, and it's going to be in their library, so people can also look back on it in case they missed the event, and it's going to be a great time. So,
do you ever watch your matches back and like see what you can improve and that type of thing?
Yes, I do. I'm very meticulous with that. I used to be watching my opponents all the time, but I've kind of had this, be it faith, be it just letting go. I used to watch my opponents, see how, what's going on. Now I just leave it up to my coaches and leave it in their hands of what to prepare me for. I don't have to have that anxiety of like, oh my God, what am I going to prepare for? I've adopted the mentality like they can come watch me train at my gym and I'll still whoop their ass. So
I love it. You got to have that confidence. I feel like to exist in this industry. Great. Well, if anybody has any questions, I welcome you. Okay, great. Eric said, can we get a name of where to watch the fight again, please?
Okay, UFC Fight Pass. So everybody, here we go, in case you can see the poster. So that's why I put it behind me too. I wish I could flip it somehow, but yeah, UFC Fight Pass, everybody. You can watch on your phone, your computer, your smart television. It'll be right there, easy access.
Nice. Awesome. So when was the last match that you had? You mentioned you were injured.
Yeah, it was last January. It was January. It was a week after my birthday, and oh my God, I should not have fought. A lot of things went wrong. I had a hit and run accident the week before my fight on my birthday, because great, whatever. And last November, I had an ATV crush my leg twice. And did I go see a doctor? No, I was a little stubborn, thinking it'll just heal on its own. It didn't. It wasn't until after the fight where I broke my hand. First broken bone ever in 11 years of fighting. Not bad odds. I just threw it real hard, and I threw it the part of my hand was not supposed to land, and it did, and shit happened. Part of my language, everybody, sorry. And So there it was. But then I found out how really busted my body was because I made the mistake of really extending myself out for people who pretty much just used me and just thought I was expendable, which really hurt. But then I found out my white blood cells dropped to 3.0. For everybody outside the medical community, that's bad. And then I found out my thyroid wasn't moving, which explained why it was so hard for my weight to come off that one time. And so I had to get my hand repaired. I had to go see a wonderful endocrinologist who gave me all the medicine I need to have a functional thyroid again, and life feels a lot better. And I found a new coach and a new team, within Couture's versus splitting my time, and everything feels right now. I got a coach who really looks after me, not only in the striking department, but he's also in charge of my strength and conditioning because he runs this underwater strength conditioning called Deep End Fitness. So you're running weights underwater, you're swimming 25 yards without having to take a breath or doing your damnedest to do so. It's wonderful stuff because it teaches you how to be calm when things are panicky. Like fighting off the feeling like you're going to drown. It's a pretty panic inducing feeling, but learning how to breathe, how to relax so those feelings of panic and drowning don't come in, very beneficial in the fight as well, because fighting is chaotic. It is full of panic. It's like full of tense moments where you just got to relax, you got to breathe through and think. So it's been very beneficial. And I'm just really grateful to have my coach. His name is Maki Patoli. He actually was a UFC fighter at one point too, and now he's an amazing coach. He's a wonderful husband to his children, and his children push me in the pool too. So it's have a little 7 or 8-year-old go like, yeah, come on, let's keep swimming. It's like, all right, bet, let's keep swimming. I can't have this little kid outdo me. So it's nice to have that little challenge.
Yeah.
Serena, where do you do these
Yeah.
swimming workouts?
The municipal pool, the Las Vegas municipal pool off of East Bonanza. So it's a big facility, it's run by the city of Las Vegas, and Deep End Fitness is a partnership with them. So I just pay $100 a month and bam, I'm swimming 2 times a week. And it's 2 hours long. So, but what's great is unlike traditional strength conditioning where I'm really sore and I don't feel so hot, I don't have that same joint aches. Don't get me wrong, I am exhausted when it's over, but I'm not hurting. I'm usually used to having one and the other, not one without the other. So it was a very interesting thing to get used to. But I like it. Like even after this fight, like I'm gonna keep going with it.
Mhm. Yeah, that's
That's
amazing.
amazing.
What do you have to hold, like logistically, do you hold your breath underwater or do you like
Yes.
have okay.
I hold my breath. I mean, I'm allowed to come up for air when I don't feel like having it, but it's being able to push your limits to what you thought wasn't possible before. It's a gratifying experience. Like the first time I went, I was not able at any point in time to swim 25 yards without taking a breath and dive down. Like I got a weird body type. I sink when I try to float belly up, but then when I try to dive down, I have a hard time going down. But I was able to finally swim down below because the pool goes down to 13 feet. Like the section where it's like 6 feet and it goes all the way down to 13 feet. So I'm able to swim all the way to the bottom and swim all the way across 25 yards without taking a breath. Like for me, that was huge. Like I wasn't able to do it the other laps, but just being able to do it that one time, versus when I first started, I had to come up 3 different times going across 25 yards. So it's nice to have those little improvements show. And it's been great for my lung capacity. My endurance has paid dividends for it. And yeah, like you're lifting weights in it. Like we do squat jumps where we have weights in each hand and we're squatting down. Then we have to jump up while we're holding the weights. Big old breath and then go back down, do our squat, jump up, big old breath, and then continue that. So things like that. Or you ever see those surfers in Hawaii who carry a rock and they're running at the bottom? We're doing stuff similar to this. Obviously not with a rock, but we're holding a weight and we're pushing it down below, from one end to the other or as much as we can, but we have to get our breath and then go back down and do it again. So it's great stuff.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Mhm.
Tell us more about your team. You said you switched teams as well.
So I used to train with a wonderful guy, with a wonderful coach, but his personal life kind of got in the way of things. It kind of went a little off, and we just didn't see eye to eye anymore. So I used to split my time between his gym and the gym I'm at, Extreme Couture, but now I'm fully within Extreme Couture. So my coach, Maki Patoli, he took me under his wing, so it's like day 3, the Hawaiians had taken me in and I've become one of their own. So yeah, because I'm working with a bunch of Hawaiian guys and stuff. So I'm like the token white girl, on the team who's just doing their hardest. And I'm in with the dude. So it's a nice feeling. You know, all the guys are hearing my hooks, which hook comes this way, like you're gonna hug somebody. They're saying they sound like gunshots and stuff. So I'm like,
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. Does anybody else have any questions for Serena they'd like to ask? You can unmute yourself.
I have a question for Serena. Serena,
yes.
so do you feel like your autism does help you in any I know you mentioned that it might actually be a little bit of a challenge when you are
Mhm,
dropping all the water, but does it have serve you in some way in your mind in a positive way too?
mhm. Fighting is a puzzle. It always is a puzzle, but a good one I like to solve. So I'm always on the task. Everybody always calls me a junkyard dog because they're saying no matter how damaged I am or tired or whatever, I just keep coming forward. So I've heard the term junkyard dog, Terminator, whirlwind, because I just keep coming forward, throwing and doing whatever. But I like to be more meticulous. I like to see what ways I can break my opponent, if I can get in their head, if I can nullify their stuff. Like, I guess I just have a more keen eye, I would think, than most fighters because of it.
Mm.
And
It's
like
like
there's
a
other fighters who like to also just go party and do all it, which, to each their own. I don't mind having, a day like a day drinking day or whatever, or having some, dare I say, on the pot, have a little bit of marijuana, here and again and hang out and just watch TV and stuff. But I've never been like, oh, let's go to a day club and party and stuff like that. Like in comparison to most fighters, I'm pretty tame. A nice day just playing video games or going to the park or hiking with my bird. Like I have like this clear shell backpack for my bird. I put him in it and it has like, holes for fresh air and we just go on walks. I take him hiking through Red Rock with me. You know, like in April, like not next month, but April, I'm gonna go to Willow Beach down in Arizona and I'm gonna take him with me and we're just gonna hang out by the water all day. So
I love that.
oh.
Jip has a question. Jip, go ahead. I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Number one, I love what you're doing. I can't do it anymore. I'm too old. But my question is, and I'll quantify that. I used to be an athlete. I ran track and played every sport there was, when I was still in high school. But how long does it take on balance to recoup after you had a tough fight?
okay, so that really depends. Even when I don't take any damage or I take very little, there's something called DOMS, which stands for delayed onset muscle soreness. This
Uh-huh.
happens when the body has gone through a state of adrenaline, because your body on adrenaline is doing double time or more than what it normally does. And as a result, all that lactic acid builds up in the body. And for me, like I'm down for about a week. Even if
Okay.
I have if I have no bruises, no cuts, no nothing, I'm down for a week because it just hurts to move. So, I mean, I can do it. I'll go on easy walks in the park to kind of try to let the lactic acid filter out my body, but it does take time. Now, for the days where I do get injured, probably about 2 weeks. But you're
Mm.
also talking to the woman who didn't know her own hand was broken for 2 weeks. I'm doing push-ups after my like 2 days after my fight. And then I'm trying to do my pull-ups because back then I was doing 10 pull-ups a day, all the way down, all the way up. My dad was infantry in the army, so that's why. And I didn't know my hand was broken until I went and got an X-ray. I'm like, oh, like for example, I'm gonna see if I can put the picture in the group chat so everybody, for it's not terrible, but guys, I understand if it is a little sad looking, but like I said, I'm very hard to kill. I'm very proud I'm hard to kill, but this was what I didn't know was broken. If I could find it somehow. Oh my goodness, where is it? Pardon me, guys. I'm looking through my images and it's
And then
getting hard to find.
this is a really cool image that we have right here.
Okay, yeah, I don't know which one that is. All right, here we go, everybody. So that's what my hand looked like during the break. Did I know my hand was like this? No, I did not until I got an X-ray. So trigger warning for everybody who's squeamish a little bit, but yeah, I didn't know my hand was that broken. I was doing push-ups on it. I didn't know. But when I try to do pull-ups, I'm looking like I'm British, having tea, going pinky up with it. So
Ooh,
yeah.
ooh, ooh.
Wow.
So yeah.
I have one more question. When
Yes.
I was running track, and I ran middle distances, which is very brutal,
Oh yeah.
there were times when the endorphins would just kick in, and I was on cloud nine. I could run till I dropped. I thought anyway. Does that ever happen in your line of work that endorphins start kicking in and you just, not vulnerable anymore? You think anyway.
I think the closest I would have to an endorphin rush is when I take one spicy hit from somebody and then I get that smile like, oh, I can't wait to get you back. And I get a little vengeful. And that's when I start smiling because like in the fight, everybody is they're thrown off because I start talking to them. I start talking to the opponent. I'm like, they start punching me like, that's it, that's all you got, and they don't know how to handle it. Some people get angry and try to match me, which is kind of what I want. I want them to start losing their own head, focusing on me, kind of getting in their heads, saying that what they're throwing at me is nonsense, or they're just entirely just shook out of their own game plan, going like, I just hit this woman and she's still coming after me. Oh my God. So
Yeah. Those are great questions, Jip. Thank you.
mhm.
Okay. Anybody else want to take a crack at it, or at least say hi to Serena before her match? Or wish her luck, because this is exciting.
Oh, I'm so excited for it. Like I have jeggings on and my jeggings are loose. Okay, I feel like Urkel right now because like yes, they're over my like they come at times over my belly button, which it's nice. I look, I'm already ahead for bikini season, I think. So
That's a lot to be jealous of.
well, you need some tidbits from my nutritionist, I got y'all covered.
Hey, Serena, just wanted to wish you best of luck in your upcoming match this week.
Thanks, Jeff. I can't wait. Oh, it'll be such a fun little return. And I've always wanted to go to Tampa. If I had more time off of work, man, I would have made little girl me happy and go to Busch Gardens because growing up, everybody remember those old tourist VHS tapes you get from like Disneyland and stuff, trying to entice you to go over there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a bunch for Busch Gardens that I saw, and I'm just like, man, I want to go to Busch Gardens. I want to go on the water rides and the roller coasters, but the elderly people I take care of need me, so duty first.
Yeah.
Serena, what's going to be the first thing you eat after you fight?
Oh goodness, that's a good question. It really depends on what's available to me when I'm able to eat. Now, my meal when I get all my fluids and stuff back in. So the secret weapon for me is the Vietnamese soup pho. It's pronounced pho, but everyone knows it as pho. Reason being is 11 years ago when I first went to Thailand training. So my original plan, everybody, was to be a Muay Thai kickboxer first, and then scare everybody that, then go to mixed martial arts. So Muay Thai kickboxing is kickboxing, but you're allowed to throw elbows and knees at people, which is awesome. I'm actually very Muay Thai heavy when I fight, and everybody doesn't like it when I grab them for that reason, because within the clinch, I elbow and knee them to bits. So I joke and call myself a blender. It slices, it dices when I grab somebody. So what ended up happening is I would see the Muay Thai fighters when they would rehydrate themselves after weigh-ins, their secret weapon was chicken stock, because sodium, right? And then the protein within chicken stock, it helped reconstitution their body and everything. So I took it a step further. Pho has a day's worth of sodium already in the broth itself, and it's bone broth. They boil beef bones for a whole day before they put it in there. You got paper thin strips of steak and rice noodles, which is easy to digest. So for one's digestive system coming back to life, such as my own, having something to easily digest and come back into the body is very highly rated. You know, there's some people who want to have sushi and stuff, but the last thing I need is to risk a foodborne illness before I fight and stuff. So first thing I eat after I get off the scale, that's the soup is the jam, Pho particularly. So I enjoy that. I have my coconut water, I have my Pedialyte, and I'm pretty good to go. Now, what I'll have coming back here to Vegas now, oh man, I want to tear up an Indian or a Mexican buffet so hard right now. That's all I've been thinking about.
Yeah, you got a lot of options there too, huh?
It's the one thing I enjoy about living in Vegas. Like, Vegas has a lot of food, not nearly as much as my native Philadelphia, because, oh my God, for reference, I fought one weight class above when I was in Philadelphia because the food was so good and it was easily accessible. Philadelphia was a more accessible city to the disabled than it is, sadly, in Las Vegas. We've had such a population boom out here, but the mass transit services don't nearly match the population boom. And a lot of people from the disabled and the elderly are unfortunately left to the side. I mean, who the hell will wait 30 minutes for a bus out in the Vegas sun? No one.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
Is
I'm glad.
Cindy on here? We have someone on here possibly from Philadelphia.
Yeah, Cindy.
oh,
I'm gonna spotlight her.
okay. Hey, go birds.
I miss you, Cindy. You look amazing.
hmm
Thank you.
Oh man, I really do miss Philadelphia. The goal is for me, after I win this fight, I want to actually see Cage Fury Fighting Championship. They're known for being more on the East Coast, and one of their biggest hubs is Philadelphia. My goal after I beat the crap out of this woman, call for a title fight in Philadelphia. I get to see all my friends and family and all my old teammates and fight for a belt. That's the goal.
If that happens, I'm coming there with Cindy and her husband.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
that'd be awesome.
You can
'Cause they would
count
be at
on
the
it,
20
Cindy.
because they
Okay.
fight at the 2300 arena, which is great because, oh my God, if Shanks is still there on the waterfront, I need to go get myself a cheesesteak. My family went back to Philadelphia when they came back to the East Coast, and they told me like some of the places that closed, like my favorite comic book store from like that I always went to all throughout college in my 20s until I left, was gone. I'm just like, I was just like, ah. Because after I was done training or working, I'd always go there, get some comics, get some nerdy stuff, and then go to Ishkabibble on South Street. And then Lorenzo and Sons. Like I said, I was really fat when I lived in Philadelphia, but could you blame me?
Yeah.
I love it. Jip has his hand raised. Go ahead, Jip.
Talk about Philadelphia. I used to work with a very, very fine gentleman he came from Philadelphia, and we were always arguing because he couldn't pronounce water. It's water, water. I said,
Always
Rich,
water.
it's
Water
water.
ice.
No, it's water.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, when I talk to my British and Australian friends, they also say it like me, so they've adopted me as their own, which is actually funny because I have an unusually high amount of Australian fans, which totally fine with. They're crazy and they're cool just like myself. So yeah, we say water, we say crick, we say, it's pashunk, not passyunk, And oh my God, the one good thing about Florida is they have Wawa. Now that's something I haven't had in a long time is some Wawa. And now they're in Florida, so I get to go to the motherland and get myself some sandwiches and a soft pretzel before I get on the flight back home. I'm so excited.
I haven't heard that in a while. Wawa. It's like
Yeah.
7-Eleven for us in California, but it's nicer than
Oh, Wawa's the life giver.
yeah, it's way better than 7-Eleven.
I mean, you get your freshly made sandwiches and soups and everything there, and just everything in one convenient package right there. When I fought in Miami, it was funny because I actually called an Uber to go to the Wawa, and the guy looked at me like, "You called an Uber to go to a gas station?" Like, no, you don't understand. And then I explained to him, the guy's from Venezuela, so he's like, "Oh, I get it. There's this place called Mr. Boca for Venezuelan food. We had that in Venezuela too. And I know now I understand. I'm like, okay, we got something here." So my mom got her little tuna hoagie. Yeah, it's hoagie, not subs. So got her tuna hoagie. I got my regular hoagie with a little soup and a soft pretzel. I was very content.
Serena, we never take a photo this early, but I want everyone in this photo with you so we can all be
Okay,
behind you. We're not ending right now, but if everyone can
let's
get,
do it.
I'm gonna see. I don't have this view, but show your faces for Serena. We'll do a photo with her, pumping her up for her fight, and she's got her, um, it's a parrot, right?
Yeah, Goffin
Ralph a parrot.
cockatoo, parrot. Yeah.
Okay,
So
her
it
and
belongs
Ralph.
to parrot family. Yeah. My buddy since I was 14. So
I
Love
think
it.
we should be one normal and one crazy. Like,
okay.
Okay. First, should we do normal? Let's do normal first.
yeah, the first
Okay.
normal.
Ready? 1, 2, 3, cheese. Okay, now
Okay,
crazy.
now do it crazy.
1, 2, 3. I love it. I do
Oh, my
have
bird is so photogenic. But yes, what's the question?
another. So the fighting championship, it says Fury Fighting Championship. So what happens? How many fighters are fighting in that championship? Do you know? And what's gonna happen?
So that's just the name of the promotion. So each weight class has a certain amount of people within it. And since I'm newly signed to these guys, I have no idea. All I know for me, I'm just excited to find a girl who has enough courage to fight me because the other unfortunate tidbit of fighting is, especially on the women's side, well, only on the women's side, it's unfortunately turned to the battle of the cutest. So, women who kind of put their goods out there. Let's keep it PG. Put their goods out there and stuff. They tend to get more opportunity, and who are horrible fighters tend to get more opportunities than women like myself who are absolutely shy about putting my stuff out there on the internet. Like, I'll have a bikini photo, like if I'm by the pool or anything, but that's as good as that's as much as I go, right? And I can fight. So unfortunately, these women who, dress scantily and stuff and post photos because they get more eyes on them, they unfortunately get ahead of people like myself, which is the more frustrating part. If there's any downside of fighting, it's that. Because it's no longer sports. The whole game has turned into sports entertainment now. And because, like I said, I'm relatively tame. I'm a nerd who loves birds and you know, fighting people and stuff. Like, my interests are a little, not always as popular within the fighting world, but in time, like after I'm settled with this fight, after I get myself moving, I'm going to be trying to put more content out there. I'm going to start trying to talk about, about autism more, my journey through it and stuff like that. I love to I love to shoot steel targets with my rifle and my handgun, so I'm going to start doing that more often. Stuff like that. Talk about this knucklehead who is trying to eat my necklace, um, and other things like that. So, and then also get some new eyes actually. So I actually found out for this fight, heading to the health things, I'm only 50 points away from being considered legally blind when I'm not wearing my glasses. So I actually most likely have to get PRK after this fight as well. So a lot of good developments though. You know, I've had to wear glasses since I was 5. So you know what? I'm happy sooner than later I get to get rid of these.
Do you wear contacts for your fights?
Well, even if I could wear contacts, I just can't. I just can't touch my eyes. Yes, the person who gets punched in the face and has their joints contorted all the time, yes, cannot handle touching their own eyes. I know, I don't make sense. And wearing contacts in fights is actually illegal. But I'm okay because I'm very nearsighted. So unless the woman jumps out of the cage running away, I can see him just fine. Now if they jump out, I'll be like, okay, here's the white flag. I can't see you. I surrender. You win. Where'd you go? You know, that's the difference. So
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know. Do you know why they're banned?
well, having a foreign object in your eye and getting punched is normally not a great recipe. So
Makes sense.
as
Okay.
a result, the athletic commissions have made it a no-go.
Okay. Cool. So what's gonna happen if you win this fight? What's next?
Win this fight, whatever comes first, either if I get a title shot offer sooner, then I'll take that on. And then if I don't, I'm gonna take time to go get PRK and go get be able to see again. I'm hoping that I'll get the title fight first. Then I'll go for the PRK. You know, have a nice shiny belt, new eyes. I mean, this year will look pretty nice. See, even my bird's in agreement with that. So, so, but yeah, after the fight, I'm moving to Summerlin. I'm moving to a new spot. I'm hanging with would be helping my friends a bit more. And I'm just gonna keep training. My one little brother, who's also autistic, he's getting married. Late April, so I'm gonna go fly down to Connecticut to go see that. And other than that, just same old, same old. Go hit my friends, have them hit me, help the elderly for my job, and that's that.
Serena, I missed it. What do we have to do to see you fighting in Philadelphia?
Well, CFFC has to find a girl who is willing to fight me, and hopefully when I win this fight and I call for a title shot and dangle that gold belt opportunity in front of some girls, they'll jump up and think they have a shot, and then we'll go from there. But if as soon as I know what's up, I will let all you know.
So would your title fight be in Philadelphia?
If they listen to me, yes. I mean, I'm grateful that the female matchmaker is former UFC. She fought the 115 weight class, so she loves me. She knows all about me. She knows my mentor. She knows, and she loves me. So I'm pretty positive that when I win this fight, and if I do so in decisive fashion, I'll get a title shot. Now, there also is another big possibility that if I finish this woman, meaning I don't let it go to the judges' scorecards, like I get a knockout, a submission, or whatever, if I do that, there is a likelihood I could be signed to the UFC as well, which is something I've worked for since I've started. That's all I've wanted to be a fighter in the UFC, because that's like the NFL of mixed martial arts. So that's what I want to do. And like, I'm going to have this big old pep talk from my friend Misha Tate, who is the former bantamweight champion in the UFC. And for all my people who watch Celebrity Big Brother, she was the winner of one of the seasons there. She was cutting weight and training for a fight while on a reality show. Like, her mental will is indomitable. I don't know if I could focus being on a reality show and then while cutting weight and getting ready for a fight. I don't know if I could do all that. So she's great in my books. She's been lovely. She's looked after me as well for a while. So
Wow,
grateful.
you got a great mentor. That's
I
incredible.
really do.
Love it. We had a few comments that I'll read.
Yes.
Karen said, Serena, super proud of you. Awesome. It's just everything's awesome. And then Eric said, Serena, you are awesome. Can't wait to watch your fight. So you'll have us cheering you on.
Oh, can't wait.
I think there's other comments too, Rebecca.
I just saw it come in. Amy says, do you guys know the Bella twins? Who are
No, the Bella Twins are pro wrestling, different league, different entire realm of worlds. So I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some pro wrestlers that cross MMA and vice versa, but it's just never been my jam. You know, hey, look, if they at and I could do pro wrestling, but they better attach 6 zeros to the end of that check, and then we got something going. Otherwise, I don't care for it really. Don't get me wrong, what pro wrestlers do is amazing. Like, growth is realizing, yes, the storylines are fake, but all the athleticism that's in there is 100% real. And my growth point for pro wrestling was just like, Serena, it's just live action anime. Just enjoy it. I'm like, when I put it that way, I'm just realized it's a soap opera. It's a drama show, but the athletics are 100% real. That's when I started enjoying pro wrestling again. Because being a little kid, finding out it's all not real and stuff. It's like it's heartbreaking. It's like I've been betrayed, but then when you start seeing, hey, it's real, the athleticism is real, just the stories are there, then it's like, you know what, that's cool. So
There's respect there.
yeah, there's respect for it. And the way how they can pull, and it's drama class and athleticism wrapped in one, being able to pull off convincing drama while doing athleticism, it is its own sport. It's its own thing that requires a lot of detail, dedication to as well.
Mhm.
See, then you just got me, who's just the cage fighter, comes in to just rough people up. And then talks big on the mic. There's times on the mic I've said some things that may not exactly be PG, but we have to, unfortunately, now to sell ourselves. I don't put my goodies out there on social media, so I just say a bunch of bad words and be a little inflammatory on the mic, and that's okay. I don't say anything bad. I just call out the rest of the competition for running away from me, and that seems to do the job.
I love it.
With Serena, I feel like it's really a joy to me to, support you in this way. And Autism Tree is going to be a sponsor. We're going to be on Serena on her. Serena, where are we going to be on you? Where's Autism Tree's logo going to be?
It's going to be on the banner because I have a banner, and I'm also putting y'all on the front of my shorts. So
Yes.
everybody,
We're so excited and honored too. I mean, it's multidimensional. I think, Autism Tree is a huge family of people, and we've got lots of sports fans, and certainly within those sports fans are UFC and people that are going to want to watch your fight, including me. Dr. Michael Levy, who helped us start Autism Tree, little known fact here, is a cut man at fights. And that was the first time I went to, first time I went to a fight. It was James Toney was announcing, not fighting. James Toney is a 10-time world heavyweight.
What?
And he's actually in that painting. Joel painted him because he helped us do our 5-year gala. Those two guys
so
in those
cool.
paintings behind Rebecca, they were buying a ballroom of 500 people to see James Toney versus Lorenzo Neal, the NFL, and they were working the room, and it's like, who can bring in more money for Autism Tree? And it was, and then people that made a certain level of donation, James Toney would go over and sign his gloves. And so I kind of forgot about that until this moment of just thinking about, kind of the big picture that there's fighting in our Autism Tree roots. And we even have video of Dr. Michael Levy in the ring with James Toney, because they're really, really dear friends, and they spar together. And I didn't know how afraid of people that James Toney is. Like you said, running around in the ring. That's what Lorenzo Neal, the NFL player, was doing. He didn't want to get near fighting with him. But
boxers they have the highest punching power in all of martial arts. It's scientifically proven. There's actually a show called Fight Science. If you guys have any free time and so inclined to watch, they actually took all the martial artists from around the world and tested on dummies attached with sensors, like pressure per square inch and all this other stuff. So you have these physics majors and whatnot, and medics and all that coming together to show, in layman's terms, how devastating the damage is that the signature moves of these martial arts can do. Like, there was a Muay Thai fighter threw a knee, and apparently the damage caused was equivalent to a 40-mile-per-hour car crash. And then the boxer, when he threw a punch, it was like God, close to 2,000 pounds per square inch or something like that. It was very fascinating stuff. So for nerd, I'm a fighter, but I've always been a sciencey kind of nerd first. So
Um, well, I just saw someone's leaving. I want to say goodbye. I don't know who it was. Do you,
all right,
Rebecca?
thank you, yeah, thank you for joining the Lunch and Learn, and thanks for cheering me on.
Yeah, we have a couple minutes left, Serena, and I did want to say, how grateful we are to have you on this Lunch and Learn, to send you off to your fight with just like lots of energy and just badassness behind you. I'm not going to say love because I know that's not the right context for this fight, but we love you.
Okay.
We love you. We're in your camp with you. And I think, when you look at the 4 core pillars of what Autism Tree wants to do day in and day out, not only are you part of that, but you're also helping us. And you've been like that since the day I met you, of wanting to embrace, right? Well, first we
Mhm.
embrace every family, then we empower them. And having you here today is what we're talking about. Having our families find that thing for the person they love, or any of you that are neurodiverse like Serena, to find that passion and have the support of your community behind you, and to continue to empower and create. So when you look at embrace, connect, I was like, I forgot connect, but Serena has just done a phenomenal job and keeps reinventing herself along the journey. As she's saying, her next thing's PRK, but how is she doing that? Is through connecting through this amazing community she's left Philadelphia to find in Las Vegas. And it's such an encouraging journey that you're on, Serena, and in a very important story. And it really speaks to the Autism Tree, what we want to do for everyone that's neurodiverse. This is our why. Serena is our why. And the way Serena is killing it on her journey, she is always, always, always connecting. She's always getting empowered, and she's always creating new opportunities for herself. And it just, it lights me up to know tomorrow, Serena. And it's really what I want to see happen in every single family and every single individual that's neurodiverse, that's part of our community. This is how we want to do it. And Jeff is on here. And Jeff, I want to give you a shout out. You are doing a phenomenal job. The amount of new opportunities. I mean, you were just here, in Orange County, which is not that far from San Diego, working and educating. And I think you and Serena have that in common. And really anyone that's drawn to Autism Tree has that in common, is that it's just like my husband Todd and I, we were never just about our own family and our own son Garrett, and Garrett's never just been about Garrett. And so that's kind of the origin, is just our family. We always just want everyone to pay it forward. And how do we do that? Because we keep helping the next person and the next person. And Serena, I know that's in your blood, and the same thing.
Oh
Jeff,
yes.
and quite frankly, everyone that's on here is like that, and that's what draws us to each other. And so
I actually might be doing something this summer. One of the women cornering me, she runs a mental health thing in South Carolina called In Your Corner. And she actually invited me to actually do an autistic self-defense seminar course with her program in the summer. So I actually might be traveling to Charleston in August. I heard it's lovely
Nice.
that time of year over there. So
Yeah.
yes, give back, to give the opportunities that, for example, I got through fighting, to see everybody else get that same opportunity, that same love and acceptance I got. It's priceless.
Mhm. I couldn't agree more. And it just makes me incredibly proud. There's not even one thing about Serena that doesn't honestly fit the core mission of Autism Tree. And I really do feel I could probably say that about everyone that's drawn to being on here right now, Serena, with you today. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Of course.
And kick this opponents.
Thump her out. It's gonna be great.
I can't wait. I'll be watching you. I'll
Yeah.
find a way.
Thanks,
Want to have any
everybody.
closing words, Rebecca?
No, I think let's leave it at that. Let's all
Okay.
go Serena.
It was so great seeing everybody. Cindy, we're gonna make it out there with Serena. I mean, I want to come on my own, but like that would be so fun to go watch Serena's fight with you. I can't see Cindy. I gotta find a way to see her.
Hey, if you guys really are coming out to Tampa and you need me to help you get tickets, But the Philadelphia one, if it happens, I'll let you know for sure. First things first, I gotta thump this girl out. I gotta thump her
Make
out.
it
just like-
happen, because I really want you to meet Cindy in person.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it happen. It's all my
You
thing
will.
about. I'm sitting in that sauna, miserable as anything, just like I'm gonna go kill this girl. I'm gonna go get a pill. I'm gonna go get new. See, that's all the stuff that's gonna be in my head. And then, of course, I'm gonna punch her for the reason I haven't had anything nice to eat or drink since Christmas. So there's that too.
That's a good reason.
Just punch her, be
Well-
like, tacos, ice cream, pizza.
Oh, well, have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone. And thank you,
Will
Serena,
do.
for being here today.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you guys for having me.
Take care, guys.